The homeless condition I am living in is pointed at the creation of myself as stalling on waiting on for something that's not myself, for myself to be deceased out of the formed world. And I can only wait that long for about a year, and then I can't wait anymore. It's true that something's going to go terribly wrong when I leave alive, and I'm leaving in due process, and you're holding me here maliciously because it looks like I'm going to kill everybody when I'm not alive anymore. So that means you won't be able to see me anymore. You won't know where I am. But in heaven, the creation of Creator 8, or everybody who's not myself in the formed world, they are not really safely elsewheres. And that's because I fired the order a long time ago. If I grow my height, you're in that kind of threatening, but you've been threatening myself and my physical safety, and that I don't have every little thing I need. You make me threaten my physical safety for a plastic bag from a supermarket, whether it's in the supermarket and I see it carried into where I am living, or if I have to keep it inside of where I'm living for more than a day. You threaten my physical safety everywhere I am over little threatening problems that I need elsewhere. Is like if I'm in a store, I need a plastic bag to buy something and carry it out of the store. I need it. If everybody else has it, I need it too. And that's what's wrong with your everybody else problem. You didn't threaten everybody else. I don't threaten them with myself. I don't threaten everybody else with myself. And you treat me like if I get something I need, that I'm threatening everybody else. You don't believe that I need anything. You believe I need to be not alive anymore so that I don't need anything I need from you. Yes, but who are you? Because I don't really know you that way. I don't have a head for my genitals. You have genitals alive because I am alive in genitals, and my head with my genitals is not really aliving itself with what I say with my head. I alive myself with what I hear with my head, and my genitals don't have alive that way. What I hear with my head does not alive my genitals. My genitals are already alive. I'm angry and I can't get out of it. So I'm going to lose this apartment because of the people that are walking by in the corridor inside of the fence door locking. And then there are also people who just intrude on the fence that may or may not have keys. I don't know that because if it's somebody else opening the fence for somebody else, I don't know who has the keys um, every time. It could be that they open the door for myself and I have the keys, or it could be that you open the door for somebody else who doesn't have the keys. And you don't have the threatening I have, which is that you're not allowed to talk to each other and you're not allowed to help each other with things because you're God to somebody else that way by being kind and smiling and being elsewheres and being friendly, but you have no threatening on yourself that you're friendly to someone who's not friendly because he is himself or she is herself. If you're friendly to someone with a penis, you're illegal, and you're friendly to a female castration of a penis, that's not a complete problem. The female castration of the penis is not complete until the female is deceased. So if you don't see it anymore, then you can be friendly that it's not there because it's finished, it's complete, it's not alive in subjectives to itself. So you're really not due to speak to each other, and you're not friendly to myself. I don't afford you, and I don't want to pay for it ever. And you are threatening the address even if you are female because you're not a complete castration of the penis. You are in process, and I don't afford it. GERI, the landlord, is a female of sorts, but her genitals are deceased to myself. She didn't stop for her genitals, and I don't know her that way. She doesn't have genitals is not true. She certainly does. And it's not true that I can help you anymore. Very soon I will lose this apartment key, and then I don't have a place to go after that. For that, I'm angry enough to kill everything that's not myself, and I can wait. But you stole a lot of my TV already. I've seen the TV, and it's not that I would sit and say, oh, there's nothing to watch on TV. I've seen this before. I don't have that I would be sitting in front of a TV if it wasn't my time to watch. And I'm not in front of the TV now. I'm using the internet to make, TV of sorts. I'm making videos, posting on the internet. And you're not supposed to interfere with that, but you have. And I've made 1,500 videos and more, so it's not really true that I need to make more. That's enough. But I don't have the door locking sealed up yet, and I don't have the food supply ended yet. Well, I'm not sure when I'm going to die, but I do know that I need a steady supply of food if I'm alive here. And I don't know how to secure the water. The tap water was turned off yesterday. I found it after I closed the door to the front entry of this apartment. I had been sitting in the doorway for, I don't know, long enough to make a video, and then I was gonna post it uh, on YouTube. The sun was warm. I was sitting in the sun in a chair, and I when I closed the door and went to the bathroom, the water was off. The tap water was off. I can't afford that to happen again, so I don't know if I will be sitting in the sun again. But I need to warm up. I don't have enough clothing. I'm wearing a robe, so if I sit in the sun, that's because I need to warm up. Uh, I can use hot water for that too, but I guess you don't understand that I don't really want to avoid your problem that you're checking my address. It's like you have no head for your genitals, but you're making the force. You're making the force when you're talking to me, and my genitals are already here, and I know who you are, and I know what you said, and I have to pay for it with banking, which is not myself. And then my genitals are already alive for that. And then for you, when you're checking my address, you're making the force with your genitals, and your head are already there for yourself to be elsewhere's goodbye, and you come around here and check this address with GERI, and everybody who lives inside the fence door locking with their own key, and everyone else who intrudes with that, they can just get in the front door locking. Um, you are forcing yourselves, checking where I am living, uh, and if I'm here, and if I have what I need, and you can just knock on the door once you're out, once you're right outside the door here, you can just knock on the door and I open it. And I don't afford that. It's completely against your genitals are alive over there for yourself to be elsewhere's. And you're offending the creation of your genitals with your head, checking my address when you don't know who I am for a lifetime because you keep taking the cash. You have cashed out that you checked my address, but you're checking it now when I need myself deceased out of the door locking. Why? Is that something to do with the creation of your genitals timing itself out and needing to be elsewhere's? You're gonna die. And you're checking my address and extending your life illegally, and I'm gonna die as not due. I'm not checking your address myself. I don't have full height. I don't leave the door locking except to take out the garbage and to pick up the delivery of supermarket food. And you do think that that's too much for me to be outside of the fence door locking to get the supermarket food when I use the gate key that everybody else is using, and you won't use your gate key to let the supermarket delivery in for me, that it would come here and leave the food outside the door and I'll find it. You know, they don't want to stand there and wait for me to find it. They'll knock on the door. You're not allowed to knock on my door. That's against your genitals, and your head is already there. Your head is offending your genitals if you knock on the door because you can't wait for me to find the food outside. And if something goes wrong with the food, if the food it starts to melt, you owe that you go back to the supermarket and bring me more food until I find it and bring it into the apartment. But I'll find it because I can hear the front door. If you're out there with the food, you don't have to knock. I can hear that you're there, or I can see you, but I have the window covered up right now. I used to be able to see out the window. I can't see out right now because it's true that I don't want you to see me when I'm in the bed or on the bed like this. I don't want you to see through the window. But you don't really take the threatening that you have to watch the food until I have it. You really don't think the food is mine to myself, all of it ever. Yeah, you don't think the food is mine to myself, and I still need to eat it to keep your genitals on yourself. At the same time, I'm just trying to save myself is in genitals for now. I don't want to help you with that. You don't think the food is mine to myself, even if I eat it. You think I just eat food, but you don't know whose food it is. When I eat food, you don't know whose food it is. You don't know it's mine to myself to yourself. That is not acknowledging that you brought the food. It's made it possible for me to have access to the food at all. What is wrong with you? It's more severe than you ever being in this world for your own need to be here. You don't need to be in this world. If you don't know the food I eat is mine to myself, to yourself, you're so hard. You don't hear it right now that there's something wrong with you.